Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand how long can a state, in this regard the state is Kerala, they have to wait in order to get a new CM. Now the reason why we have picked up this article for our today's discussion is quite simple. The reason behind this is that recently 4 states elections have been concluded, and out of these 4 states, 2 states, that is Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, they've already seen their CMs being sworn into office. This leaves out another state, that is Assam. There, the BJP leader, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, is expected to get oath tomorrow because he has been elected as the leader of the party by the MLAs of BJP. And this leaves out the 4th state, that is Kerala. What happened in Kerala is that the Congress has gotten a majority, but they are yet to decide who will be the next CM of Kerala. So how long can this uncertainty continue? In our today's video, we'll try to understand how soon it is required according to the constitution for the new government to be sworn in, and what if this timeline is breached? What will happen then? This is what we are going to understand in our today's video, and the notes which I will be using for our today's session, these are important for your exams, and therefore you can go to a Telegram channel called as ATS Live to download them. And while you're downloading the notes, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Okay, so let us start by understanding what is happening in the State Assembly of Kerala. Now you have to understand right at the very beginning that the Congress party has about 10 days to decide on the next Kerala Chief Minister. And why am I saying this? Because the tenure of the existing Assembly of Kerala, it is set to expire on May the 23rd. According to the data of Election Commission of India, the Kerala's current Assembly was formed on May the 24th of 2021, and exactly 5 years after that period, that is, the term will expire on May the 23rd, 2026. So therefore, Congress has the time up till May the 23rd to decide on the next CM of Kerala. Now, why is this condition necessary? For that, we have to refer to Article 172 of the Constitution. This article states that every legislative assembly of every state, unless sooner dissolved, shall continue for 5 years from the date of its first sitting, and no longer than that. And after the end of the 5 years, that assembly will automatically be considered as dissolved. So every assembly has a tenure of 5 years, and for the next 5 years, new assembly and new MLAs will be sworn in, and that MLA will be taking into account the new government of Kerala. Okay, so this is what the constitutional requirement is. Now, what happens in the period when the elections or the results of the elections are declared, and up till the time the end of the existing assembly's tenure? So between this period, the winning party or the coalition would stake claim to form the new government, and the governor accordingly would invite them to form the government, and they will be required to prove their majority in the floor of the house. To undertake this process, an officer is appointed called as a pro tem speaker. A pro tem speaker is usually the senior most legislator who has been selected as a temporary speaker in order to do something. What is this something I'm talking about? The pro tem speaker would administer the oath to the new MLAs and would then ensure the conduct of the floor test. So, floor test is a necessary point of view that any government should pass in order to continue remaining remain the government in that particular assembly. Now, what you have to understand, in case if the assembly is hung, what is a hung assembly? A hung assembly is that assembly where no party or coalition in itself has a majority. So in that case, the governor would play a greater role in deciding who he has to invite. As we have seen, this has happened in the state of Tamil Nadu, for which we have done a separate video on this very channel. Okay. Now here, any party or a coalition, if they want to form a government, they have to prove the support of more than half of the winning candidates, and here the role of governor becomes very important. And in an existing scenario, in an extreme scenario, you have to understand, if no party or a coalition is able to form the government, then that particular state would be put under president's rule after the recommendation of the governor, as per the provisions of Article 356. So these all are the possibilities with respect to any state after the conduction of election. Now let us take a focus on what will happen in Kerala. What is happening in Kerala? That Congress, although they have gotten the majority, but they still are not able to finalize who will be the next CM of Kerala. Okay, so our moot question of our today's discussion is, can a party win a floor test or conduct a floor test even without naming a chief minister candidate? So let us understand the possibility of it. Now, what is a floor test? A floor test is basically a test where you have to prove that you have the confidence in the legislative assembly. Confidence in the legislative assembly is that whether you can prove your majority in the legislative assembly or not. And in this regard, the constitution, it does not explicitly say that a party must announce its CM face before proving the majority or before the floor test. So ideally or theoretically, a coalition can tell the governor of the state that, see, we are not able to finalize who the CM would be, but since we have the numbers to prove the majority, we will instruct our MLAs to vote together and prove our majority in the house. But this is what can happen theoretically. Can it happen realistically? Let us find out. For that, we need to understand Article 164 of the Constitution. Article 164 of the Constitution says that the Chief Minister shall be appointed by the Governor, and other ministers are also appointed by the Governor, but on the advice of Chief Minister. And they serve their tenure as per the pleasure of the Governor. So what you need to understand, until unless the CM has been sworn in, a governor cannot appoint other ministers, and there should be a government to aid and advise the governor of a state in order to discharge his or her function. So this is the constitutional requirement. So the key constitutional requirement here is not to declare a CM first, but the key constitutional requirement here becomes that someone must be there to constitutionally be accountable to the assembly. And who is that someone? That someone becomes the chief minister of the state. So this is what constitution prescribes. And as a result, in reality, what happens, or in practicality, what happens is that one individual must be identified as a leader, and this leader would be sworn in as the CM, and then they would prove the majority if required. And without this, without a CM, there is no functioning executive government in a particular state. So typically, the sequence of government formation works like this. First, a coalition would claim majority by giving the letter of support to the governor. Then the MLAs would elect one of their MLAs or outside it as a leader of the house, and that leader would be appointed as the governor as the CM. And after he or she becomes the CM, they would prove their majority through the floor test in the floor of the house. So this is how this process actually works. Now, what you have to understand, why is there a hold up in the state of Kerala? This is because there are three front runners who want to become the next CM of Kerala. First is Mr. V.D. Satishan, who is among the popular choices when it comes to public. Another person is Mr. K.C. Venugopal, who is the General Secretary Organization of the Indian National Congress. He's among the popular choices of the newly elected MLAs. And the third person is Mr. Ramesh Chinithala. Mr. Ramesh Chinithala is the senior most Kerala congressman and is the senior most leader. So that is why he also wants to become the next CM. Now, if the Congress here decides on Mr. K.C. Venugopal as the next CM of Kerala, then there would be another added complication. That is, Mr. K.C. Venugopal right now is not an MLA. So this brings me to my next question. Can a person who is not an MLA or MLC become the chief minister? Let us find out. Now, for that, you have to rely on Article 164(4) of the Constitution. This article says that yes, it is possible for a person who is not an MLA to become a chief minister. Why? Because this article says that a person who is not an MLA or MLC in the state, they can take charge as a minister provided that they secure the membership of either of the house within a period of 6 months. And on March 1971, the Supreme Court of India ruled that Article 164 subsection 4, it also applies to the chief minister, and that is why a person can not just become a minister without being an MLA, they can also become a chief minister provided that they are able to secure a membership of either of the houses in the gap of 6 months. So this is what we needed to understand, that theoretically it is possible for a government to be formed without a CM because the requirement is to pass the floor test. But you can't pass the floor test if you don't have a leader. Who is the leader? It is basically a CM. So that is why you need to appoint a CM. And what is the timeline here for the Congress? They have to elect a new CM or select a new CM before the end of the tenure of the existing assembly. That would happen on May the 23rd. Right? So this is basically the gist of our entire discussion. Now, before we end up our today's discussion by a PYQ, there is an important announcement. The topic that we dealt with is a very integral part of Indian polity. And since these developments are in news, this kind of a question you can expect in the UPSC prelims. To understand other important aspects of Indian polity and about other important subjects that you require to cover your UPSC exam for, you can refer to our P2I resolution batches. Right now, the best possible deal has been given to you where 50% off with double validity is extended to people who take admissions before the 15th of May. So make sure to take the admission, and if you apply this code ATS Live, you're going to get maximum discounts on all the StudyIQ courses, right? Please make sure to take admissions before 15th of May to enjoy the benefits of the discount we are offering. Okay. Now, this is the question that I want you to solve. Basically, a very similar question appeared in 2013. It was on the Central Council of Ministers. So I've changed that question to suit our today's discussion. Just read this question and do let me know the correct answers in the comment section. What do you feel about this issue? Should the Congress come up with a CM or they should go ahead without a CM? Do let me know in the comment section along with the answer to this question. And if you're waiting to download the notes, this is where you'd get it. The channel's name is called as ATS Live. This is a Telegram channel, by the way. So this is all from my side for today. We'll see each other again quite soon. Please have a very good day.